Morning, it's Patsy. It's a miserable wet day here in Peterborough, so it's not the nicest of days to be doing much out there. So I've come on to do a catch up of the cards that I've used for the last week and show you the decks that I'll be using for the next week. So the tarot I used was the Llewellyn. Okay, so that's the tarot I used this week. That's the backs. Lovely cards, absolutely gorgeous cards. I've decided that I'm not going to trim them. I'm going to leave them a bit longer and carry on working with them with the borders on. The borders didn't bother me too much, to be fair, so I'm not too worried about the borders. So for the time being, I've decided I'm going to keep them. So every reading I'd done last week, and every day I pulled 3 cards for the day, as well as I've done a couple of readings. But every day I got this card. Every single day. It stalked me in this deck. And I always use my Joie de Vivre as well for personal. So every time I've done my Joie de Vivre the same day, I always got, more often than not, I got the other 2 cards what came with this, but I never got the Tower in that deck. But for some reason, this deck loves to keep giving me the Tower. Don't know why, maybe I'll find out, but as yet I haven't got a clue. But this one stalked me. So the readings that it gave me was a bit confusing, I must admit. Wasn't very clear, some of them. I mean, a lot of the readings I do every day, I can sort of, oh yeah, I can see where that's come from, and yeah. But with this one, I couldn't for some reason. For some reason, some of the readings wasn't very clear cut. So I'd done a interview with the deck, and that wasn't very clear either. It was very, I don't know. It was, some of it sort of made perfect sense, and then other parts of it, it was like, you know what you're trying to say with that one. So it was quite confusing to work with this. Not as always as clear as a lot of the decks that I do work with are. Now maybe I just need to work with it longer. I need to read the book on the Welsh mythology. Maybe that'll make things clearer, I don't know. But as a tarot deck, I didn't always get very clear readings with it, and that surprised me, because most decks that I use are pretty clear and, you know, straight to the point, and you know exactly where it's coming from. But for some reason, this one, including, like I say, the deck interview, it wasn't very clear to me. Whether that's my fault because I'm not on top form still this week, you know, with the eyes and what have you, and I didn't really look too much into the details of the card or what have you. Maybe, you know, if I could do that, then it would probably make more sense. But I'm not going to give up on it because I love it. So it's going to go back into circulation to bring out again. I may even take it down the caravan with the other decks that I'm taking to work with it more down there, because I do love it. I love the deck, and I love the images, and I need to give it a chance. So that'll come down to the caravan with me, along with those other decks I spoke of yesterday. And I would try and get the book read and to work with it a bit more and see if over time it becomes less confusing to me. Like I said, it could just be that I'm not 100% this week, so I just need to work with it a bit longer. So the oracle that I used was a new one that I got last week, and it's the Sacred Rebel Oracle. Now it's the Alana Fairchild. Most people have seen this deck. Very shiny deck. I love the images, and I love the artwork. And for this, all I'd done was pulled 1 card a day. And because I couldn't read the book, I just went on my intuition of the keywords like I would normally anyway. Though when I do get a new deck, sometimes I do like to sort of see where the artist is coming from. But I got enough from the image and from the guideline, sort of, you know, keywords at the bottom to work with. And yeah, I really liked this deck. I really enjoyed pulling it, but I would only use it, I think, as just one card pull a day for an oracle message, or to add to an end of a tarot reading, to pull one just to sort of tie it all together. I think that is the only way that I would actually use this deck. I can't see that I'd do many spreads or anything with this deck. I mean, it may work well, I haven't tried it, and I'm sure there's some in the book, and next time they come out in, you know, in my rotation, I may well try that if my eyes are okay. But for this week I just pulled one card, and yeah, I really enjoyed them. I really liked them. That was one that I pulled this week. Gorgeous image, that one. But yeah, so that is, I mean, the cardstock's lovely. I mean, they are a bit glossy, but you get that anyway, don't you, with a lot of oracles. And the card size is a big size. To, you know, I always put my oracle out on my altar for the day to remind me of the energy of the day. So it's a nice size to sort of to leave propped up on the altar. So yeah, I did enjoy working with that. I was pleasantly surprised, I think, and that smell's just about gone now, thankfully. But yeah, so that was the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and I really enjoyed working with that, and I should look forward to using that again when that goes back into the circulation of me trying to get through my decks. I do need to sort them all out and kind of move them around a bit, but yeah. So the ones that I'm using next week, the tarot that I'm going to be using is this bit. So I'm using this one because as much as I love Paulina Cassidy, there's the backs. As much as I love Paulina Cassidy's work, and I have a few of her decks, I keep pulling the Joy de Vie because it's my favourite. It's one of my favourite decks of all time, and it comes a close second to my favourite deck, which is the Hidden Realms, you know, the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. So whenever I want to pull one of her decks, I always pull Joy de Vie. And even if I'm working with another deck, I'll still work with Joy de Vie. So I thought this week I'm going to use this one. I thought I'd use an animal one this week and go with Spirit Song. So I haven't used it for a while, and I'm really looking forward to using it because the images are gorgeous for one. But yes, so this is the one that I'm going to use this week. I'm going to use for my daily 3 cards and any other readings that I want to do. Actually, I don't think I've done a interview in the deck with this one either, so I might have to do that. But I have got the Paulina Tarot on the way, which I'm really excited about. I've done an exchange for with a lady on one of the Facebook groups. She'd got the Paulina Tarot and wanted the New Era Tarot, what I'd got, which New Era Elements Tarot, which I didn't really get on with at all. I loved some of the images in that deck, and I loved the Hierophant card, with it being oh, now my head's gone. No, my head's gone. Dalai Lama. There you go. And I love the Dalai Lama. He is one of my all-time favourite human beings. So I loved it for that reason, and I loved the pages and the queens and that in that deck. But there was just some images I just couldn't stomach. And I know that in this day and age, you know, it's a reality, but I just couldn't work with it. As much as I loved a lot of the images in there, there was just a few, I think it was about 3 or 4 that I just could not stomach, and I just couldn't pull it out for that reason. So it never got used. So I wanted the Paulina for a long time, and I mentioned on one of my previous videos that I wanted the Paulina. So I've done a swap with somebody, so hopefully that should be here tomorrow or Tuesday. So yeah, so this is the spirit song that I'm going to start working with for this week, and really enjoy looking forward to working with that because it's gorgeous deck. So that is the tarot of the week, and it'll go so well with my Joy de Vive when I decide to pull both, because I know I will, because I can't resist pulling my Joy de Vive as well. So the oracle I'm using this week is the Messenger Oracle. I got this a while back, a few months back, and I love this book, this deck. You get a little book with it. I am Gaia, I am the daughter of Great Spirit who is the source of all. I am both magical and divine, as is all which I create. I am the Great Mother, I am your mother, and you, beautiful soul, are a physical manifestation of my love. It's a Blue Angel publication, and I've loved this right from the start when I got it, and it was such an energetic deck when I, first time I used it, and I'd done a deck interview with this, and it was really good, and cards used to just fly out my hands, and they all made perfect sense to me, so I know they was flying for a reason. But that's the back. Again, they're glossy, as usual, and it is by Raven Phelan. But again, I don't use the book because you don't need to, because it tells you on the bottom that, like this one, is nurture all you love. Do you know what I mean? So there's enough to work from just on that that one key phrase at the bottom. Gorgeous image there. But yeah, I haven't worked with this for a while. I don't know, but well, I do, because other decks sort of get pushed in the way, don't they? Buy new decks and you use that, and this is why I'm going to start doing it, one each a week, one tarot, one, so I can put these all back into rotation, get rid of the ones I don't use, just keeping the ones that I love, and working with them, taking in turns working with them, so they all get used, and I don't forget what I've got, and I can use them. I've got some gorgeous oracle decks that I get pushed to the back of my bookshelf in the hallway, and I just don't pull them enough, so I need to have a good old sort out and pull forward some good ones that I want to carry, to work with again, because I haven't worked with them for a long time. I may do a video actually of these oracles that I absolutely love, but I'm not working with, and I need to. But this is the one that I'm going to be using this week anyway. This is the Messenger Oracle, and I absolutely love this this oracle. So this is what I'm going to use this week, and I will be back next week to share with you. Oh, look at this! How gorgeous is that? With you how I get on using it, and how I get on with the Spirit Song Tarot. But yeah, they're two decks that I'm really looking forward to working with this week. So that's the decks that I'm going to be using, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.